Buckingham Palace is in absolute chaos right now. And I'm not talking about a wardrobe malfunction or some minor protocol breach. No, no, no. We're talking about the kind of scandal that could literally rewrite royal history. Private tapes of Queen Camilla have just leaked, and what she said about Prince William and Princess Kate is so explosive that palace insiders are saying there's no coming back from this. Stay with me, because this gets dark. So here's what happened. 3 days ago, a former palace staff member whose identity is still protected under anonymity sold recordings to multiple media outlets. And we're not talking about some grainy footage or second-hand gossip. These are crystal-clear audio recordings from what appears to be private phone conversations between Camilla and an unnamed confidant, allegedly recorded over a period of 18 months between 2022. The palace has been scrambling, and I mean scrambling, to contain this. But once something hits the internet, it's game over. The recordings are everywhere, and people are absolutely losing their minds. Now, before we get into what she actually said, you need to understand the context here. Camilla has spent decades trying to rehabilitate her image. Remember, this is the woman who was vilified for years as the third person in Charles and Diana's marriage. The British public didn't just dislike her, they actively despised her. Diana was their princess, their people's princess, and Camilla was seen as the villain who destroyed that fairy tale. But slowly, methodically, through careful PR management and honestly just the passage of time, Camilla managed to turn things around. By the time Charles became king, public opinion had softened considerably. She went from being Charles's mistress to his wife, then to queen consort, and eventually just queen. That transformation took extraordinary effort and discipline. But these tapes, they've just undone 20 years of image rehabilitation in approximately 72 hours. And here's why. The first recording that went viral was a conversation dated August. You can hear Camilla speaking to someone. The audio quality suggests she's on a mobile phone, probably in a private residence. She's discussing William and Kate. And let me tell you, there is zero love lost in her voice. She says, and I'm paraphrasing here because obviously I can't reproduce exact quotes, but she essentially calls Kate calculating and cold. She suggests that Kate married William purely for the position, and that she's been playing the long game since their university days. Camilla describes Kate as someone who studied William like a subject, learned his preferences, molded herself into his ideal woman, and executed a plan with precision. Now that alone would be bad enough, right? Calling the future queen a social climber and a manipulator is pretty terrible. But she doesn't stop there. She goes on to say that Kate has no real personality of her own, that everything about her is manufactured for public consumption. The perfect hair, the perfect outfits, the perfect smile, all of it is performed. According to Camilla on these tapes, Kate is essentially an empty vessel who became whatever William needed her to be. But wait, because it gets so much worse. In a recording from November 2022, just after the release of Harry and Meghan's Netflix documentary, Camilla is heard discussing William specifically. And this is where the knives really come out. She suggests that William has a temper that borders on frightening, that behind closed doors he's controlling and demanding, particularly with staff. She implies that the calm, composed future king we see in public is a carefully constructed facade, and that the real William is nothing like the man the public thinks they know. She even suggests, and this is genuinely shocking, that Kate walks on eggshells around him, and that their marriage isn't the fairy tale partnership everyone believes it to be. The palace's response to these allegations was swift but vague. They released a statement calling the recordings unverified, taken out of context, and potentially manipulated. They suggested legal action against the outlets publishing them. But here's the thing. Multiple independent audio forensic experts have analyzed these recordings, and most agree they appear authentic. The voice patterns match Camilla's known speech patterns. There are no obvious signs of AI manipulation or splicing, and the background sounds and ambient noise are consistent with the time frame suggested. Social media absolutely exploded. Within hours there were trending hashtags demanding Camilla's removal from royal duties, calling for official investigations, defending William and Kate, attacking William and Kate, and basically every possible angle you can imagine. Royal commentators who've spent their careers analyzing palace dynamics are calling this unprecedented. Even historians are weighing in, comparing it to historical royal scandals, but noting that in the age of social media and instant global communication, the fallout is happening at a speed and scale never seen before. But here's where this story takes an even stranger turn, and this is the part that's got everyone's conspiracy theories firing on all cylinders. About 36 hours after the initial tapes leaked, a second batch dropped. And these recordings paint a completely different picture. In conversations apparently recorded more recently, possibly in late 2023 or early 2020, she praises Kate's dedication to her royal duties, calls her a natural with the public, and even says that she reminds Camilla of Diana in the best possible ways. She describes William as a devoted father and a man carrying an enormous burden with grace and dignity. So what's going on? Did Camilla have a complete change of heart? Were the earlier recordings taken wildly out of context? Is someone deliberately trying to make her look unstable and two-faced? Nobody knows for sure, but the theories are flying. Some royal experts suggest that the earlier recordings might have captured Camilla venting during a difficult period, possibly when she was feeling insecure about her position, or jealous of the younger royal's popularity. Others think there might be a more sinister explanation, that someone close to Camilla has been recording her conversations for years, waiting for the perfect moment to release them and cause maximum damage. There's even speculation that this could be connected to internal palace politics, different factions within the royal household competing for influence and power. Meanwhile, William and Kate have remained completely silent. Not a single public statement. No official response through their office. Nothing. They attended a scheduled charity event 2 days after the tapes leaked. And if you watch the footage, their composure is absolutely remarkable. Kate smiled, shook hands, chatted with attendees, looking every bit the future queen. William was equally controlled, though some body language experts claim they can see tension in his jaw and shoulders, but neither of them gave any indication that anything was wrong. They played it perfectly, which honestly only makes people more curious about what they're really thinking. King Charles is reportedly furious, and who can blame him? This isn't just embarrassing for Camilla personally. It's embarrassing for the entire institution of the monarch. There are rumors that he's demanded a full internal investigation to find out who recorded these conversations, and how they ended up in the hands of media outlets. Security protocols are apparently being completely overhauled, and several longtime staff members have been quietly reassigned or let go. But here's the really interesting question that nobody's talking about enough. Who benefits from this? Like seriously, who actually gains something from destroying Camilla's reputation right now? Is it someone who wants to see her removed from her position as queen? Someone who resents her influence over Charles? Someone who wants to destabilize the monarchy itself? Or is this just what it appears to be on the surface? A former employee who needed money and had access to explosive material. The timing is suspicious too. This comes at a moment when the monarchy was actually doing relatively well in public opinion. The coronation was deemed successful. Charles and Camilla had settled into their roles. William and Kate were more popular than ever. And even the drama with Harry and Meghan had died down somewhat. So why drop this bomb now? Unless the goal isn't just to damage Camilla, but to reignite interest in royal drama generally. To remind people that behind all the pageantry and tradition, these are real people with real conflicts and real mess. And let's talk about what this means for the future of the monarch. The British royal family has survived scandals before, obviously. But this is different because it's not about affairs or divorces or even controversial political opinions. This is about trust and authenticity. If the Queen herself can be caught saying one thing in private and presenting a completely different face in public, what does that say about the entire royal project? How can the public trust any of them? There are already calls from Republican groups in the UK to use this as momentum for abolishing the monarchy altogether. They're arguing that this proves the royals are just wealthy, privileged people playing dress-up and pretending to be something they're not. That all the carefully managed public appearances and charitable work and dignified silence is just performance. And behind the scenes, they're as petty and vindictive and flawed as anyone.